The nurse leaned close to my ear and whispered, "You didn't survive the surgery." Then she smiled and pulled the monitor cable out of my chest. I woke up choking, not from pain, from silence. Hospitals are never quiet. Even at night, there's always something. Machines beeping, carts rolling, distant footsteps. But this place felt sealed off from the world. I was lying on a narrow bed in a dimly lit room. White walls, old paint peeling near the ceiling. A heart monitor stood beside me, its screen glowing green. Flat line. No sound. I tried to move. My body responded slowly, like it didn't fully belong to me. A dull ache spread across my chest, wrapped tight under thick bandages. The clock on the wall read 2:17 a.m. I stared at it longer than I should have. The second hand wasn't moving. "Hello?" My voice came out weak. Nothing answered. I swung my legs off the bed. The floor was ice cold. As my feet touched it, the heart monitor suddenly beeped once. Sharp and loud, then went silent again. That's when I noticed the smell. Not disinfectant, not medicine. Something burnt, metallic, like overheated wires mixed with blood. I stepped into the hallway. Long, narrow, lights flickering overhead. Doors on both sides all closed. No nurse's station. No exit signs. I had been in hospitals before. This wasn't modern. This place felt old. Like it hadn't been renovated since the 1980s. Maybe earlier. I started walking. Every few steps, the lights behind me shut off, one by one. Ahead of me, more lights flickered on. Like the hallway was guiding me forward. I reached the first door on the right. Room 214. The number plate was scratched, as if someone had tried to claw it off. I pushed the door open. Inside, a man lay on the bed. His skin was pale gray. Tubes ran into his chest, his neck, his mouth. His eyes were wide open, staring at the ceiling. He wasn't blinking. I stepped closer. The heart monitor beside him showed a flat line. Dead. As I turned to leave, the man's eyes slowly shifted, locking onto mine. I froze. His lips moved. "No one leaves," he mouthed. The lights cut out. Complete darkness. I ran. Down the hallway, past doors that began opening on their own. Inside each room, patients. Some missing limbs. Some burned. Some stitched together wrong. All of them awake. All of them watching me. Their monitors showed the same thing. Flat lines. I reached the end of the hall and burst through double doors marked surgery. The room was massive. Operating tables lined up in rows. Overhead surgical lights swung gently, though there was no wind. And every table was occupied. Bodies covered in sheets. One table at the center had no sheet. I recognized the face instantly. It was me. Same scar on the eyebrow. Same jawline. Same body. My chest was open. Ribs spread apart with metal clamps. My heart lay exposed, still beating. A nurse stood over the table. Her uniform was outdated. Her face unnaturally smooth, like wax. No name badge. She looked at me and smiled. "You woke up early," she said. My throat went dry. "What is this place?" She tilted her head. "St. Mercy Hospital." I frowned. "That hospital closed 10 years ago." Her smile widened. "Yes," she said. "So did you." The room began to vibrate. The surgical lights flickered violently. The heart on the table started beating faster. I backed away. "I was in an accident. Highway 61. You're treating me." She shook her head slowly. "You were pronounced dead at 2:17 a.m. The clock above the operating room read the same time. 2:17. My chest burned. I grabbed my shirt and ripped it open. Stitches. Fresh. Poorly done. I felt something under my skin. Something hard. Metal. The nurse stepped closer, holding a clipboard. "We keep patients like you here," she said calmly. "People who refuse to move on." I screamed as pain exploded through my body. My vision blurred. The last thing I saw was her leaning down, whispering, "If you leave before we finish the procedure, you take the hospital with you." Everything went black. I woke up screaming. My lungs burned as if I'd been underwater for hours. Harsh white light flooded my vision. This time, the heart monitor was loud. Fast, erratic beeps filling the room. For one brief moment I felt relief. Then I noticed the restraints. Thick leather straps pinned my wrists and ankles to the bed. I tried to pull free. They didn't move. The clock on the wall still read 2:17 a.m. A different room. New walls. Same time. Footsteps echoed outside the door. Slow. Heavy. Deliberate. The nurse entered. Same wax-smooth face. Same dead eyes. "You experienced post-death agitation," she said, checking the monitor. "It's common." "I'm alive," I said. My voice shook. "I can feel everything." She nodded. "Of course you can." She injected something into the fore. Cold spread through my veins. "You died on Highway 61, she continued. "Massive chest trauma. We restarted your heart after 14 minutes. "That's impossible," I said. "Brain damage. Should have killed you," she finished. "But it didn't." She leaned closer. "Some people don't know how to let go." The door behind her creaked open. 2 orderlies stepped in, or at least they looked like orderlies. Their movements were stiff, mechanical. One of them turned his head too far, the neck bending at an angle no human neck should. They rolled the bed out of the room. We passed through hallways I hadn't seen before. Lower levels. The air grew colder. The lights dimmer. The walls darker. A sign overhead read, "Basement. Authorized personnel only." I started to panic. "Where are you taking me?" The nurse didn't look back. "Recovery." The elevator doors slid open. Inside there were no buttons. Just a single switch labeled sublevel. The elevator dropped fast. Too fast. My ears popped. The lights flickered. For a moment, I saw something carved into the metal walls. Names. Hundreds of them. Some scratched. Some burned in. Some written in dried blood. The doors opened. The basement smelled like rot. This floor wasn't like the rest of the hospital. The walls were stone. The ceiling low. Thick pipes ran overhead, dripping dark liquid onto the floor. They wheeled me into a massive chamber. Rows of beds stretched into darkness. Every bed occupied. Patients lying still, but awake. Their eyes followed me. Saw a woman missing half her face. A man with his chest sewn shut using black thread. A child whose legs were bent backward. All breathing. All broken. A large operating table sat at the center of the room. Above it hung rusted surgical tools. The nurse stopped. "This is where we stabilize souls," she said. I laughed hysterically. "You're insane." She finally turned to face me. Her smile disappeared. "No," she said. "We're necessary." She gestured around the room. This hospital was built in 1931. It was meant to save lives. But the doctors discovered something during a failed surgery. She leaned close to my face. "Death isn't immediate. There's a window. A gap." My heart pounded. "When a patient dies but refuses to cross over," she continued, "their body becomes unstable. Reality bends. Time breaks." The clock on the wall flickered into existence.
2:17 a.m.
"We anchor them here," she said. "If we don't, they tear holes between worlds." One of the patients screamed. The lights shook. Cracks spread across the walls like spiderwebs. "That's what happens when someone wakes up too early," the nurse said calmly. She placed a cold hand on my chest. "You're one of the strongest we've seen." I felt pressure beneath my stitches. Metal shifted inside me. "We replaced part of your heart," she said.
A conductor.
"It binds you to the hospital." I screamed as pain ripped through me. The building trembled harder. Alarms blared for the first time. Patients began thrashing. Beds rattled. The walls bled. "You don't belong here," I gasped. She stepped back. "You're right," she said. Her voice changed. Deeper. Older. "You belong to the hospital." The floor collapsed. I fell. Darkness swallowed me. Woke up in an ambulance. Rain hammered the roof. Sirens screamed. Paramedic leaned over me. "Stay with us. You're back." I looked at the clock above the doors.
2:18 a.m.
Relief flooded through me. They rushed me into a real hospital. bright, modern,